Hello Forex traders, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Learn Forex with Davidson. This channel is where we break down the markets and build smarter trades every weekend. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss out whenever I drop valuable content just like this one. So every Sunday we do a full forex chart analysis for the upcoming week, and on Wednesdays we dive into key forex concepts to level up your trading knowledge. And in today's video we will be looking at some major pairs together. We are going to be analyzing these pairs together. So we are going to be looking at pairs like GBPUSD, XAUUSD, AUDUSD, EURUSD plus SP500 and US oil. So grab your notebooks, stay logged in, and let's break down this chart together. So without wasting much time, let's get started. The first chart before me is the GBPUSD, and as you all know how we do this, we've been looking at this chart since last week, and on our last video we talked about GBPUSD. And before I continue, I want to sincerely apologize to you guys. Last week we were not able to put out content for chart analysis because we had some technical issues. We had to The team had to fix something at the back end. So but we are back now. We are fully back to you guys. We are back and we are here to give you guys juicy content that's gonna make you money from the forex market. So today our first pair is going to be the GBPUSD. So GBPUSD, as you can see on the chart, is on a move to the upside. What you can see right now is GBPUSD has broken past resistance level, which has turned the level to support level. Remember, when the price was just at this level, this was a resistance level, but once price breaks through to the upside and retains that level and continue in the direction, that level turns to support. So resistance level turning to support level. So GBPUSD right now is still on a bullish move. So logically, we want to look out for potential buy position. We want to look out for buy entries. We want to look at to see where we can get into the market. And as you can see, this is a trend line right below here. So I'm going to draw this trend line again. Pick from the low here. Draw this trend line. I'm going to pick from this low, try it up to the top, and pick as many as possible touches from the bottom. All right, guys. So here we have our trend line, and let's get busy. What I'll be looking out for on GBPUSD is for price to make some reaction, price coming back to this trend line before I find an entry. So if something like this happen, I'm going to find an entry here. So my entry, I'm going to enter this market at this level, and my stop loss is just going to be below the trend line, and I'm going to target the next high. So apart from that, I can see something on the chart. GBPUSD is forming something like a channel. So on my tool, these are my frequently used tools. So I'm going to pluck out my parallel channel. So on the parallel channel, draw from the low here, swing it up, and extend this to the upside. So guys, you can see GBPUSD has formed what is called channel. So what is a channel? A channel is when price gets to the resistance level refers back to the top and does not break above that area. When it goes to the upside, it does not break above. When it comes to the upside, it does not break below. It just stays in the trend going to the upside. So you can see that this parallel channel is fit into the market reaction at this level. So what you are seeing is that when price came to this level, when price came to this level, it reversed back to the upside, right? And another thing, price came to this level, it didn't, we had some breakout here, which price later came back into the channel. You can see that price has just been moving inside the channel and nothing has been really happening. So what you can see is that every time price gets to the resistance level of this channel, it falls back. When it gets to the support level of the channel, goes back up. So what we are going to be looking for now is that price currently is at the resistance level of the channel. So we are expecting price to fall back into this channel, back to the support level. So if you can draw out something like this. This could be could draw something like this on the chart. You could draw something like this. You want market to come into this place, or you can put this here. You want market to come back into this area, and once market come back here, you get into a buy. So that is my bullish scenario for GBPUSD, and my bearish scenario is price reacting this way, price coming down back all the way down here, retest this level and comes back to this area. Because why? This area is a potential area. This is many touches happen at this place. This is a potential, this is a solid area of value, solid area of interest. So bullish bearish scenario is price coming back to this support level before going back to the upside. So this is my bearish scenario, but right now I'm not so interested in going bearish on GBPUSD. Rather, I'm looking for buy position. So I'm just going to wait for markets to tap back into the support level and wait for a confirmation, maybe from a candlestick or a chart pattern, and I will just jump into the trade. So that is that for GBPUSD. And the next pair we are going to be looking at is the XAUUSD. The XAUUSD pair right now is pretty much as beautiful as GBPUSD. So what you are seeing on the chart right now is XAUUSD also forming a channel. So what you are seeing is a channel on a bearish trend, and what you saw on GBPUSD was a channel on a bullish trend. So XAUUSD is not on a bearish trend. So what you are seeing right here is just a mini trend. So if you want to confirm that, we go to the 4-hour time frame, because currently we are on a 1-hour time frame. So you can see that on a 4-hour time frame, a bigger time frame, you can see that XAUUSD is on a bullish trend to the upside. So this trend you are seeing here, this channel is just a mini, is a mini trend in a major trend, right? So we go back to the 1-hour time frame. So on the 1-hour time frame, we can see that markets broke through the trend and rallies back to the upside. So how you trade a channel is you wait on a bullish trend, you wait for the channel to break out to the upside before you get into the trade. And don't forget, guys, XAUUSD is the pair that made us $4,000 last week. So this pair gave us some cool cash out of the forex market. Don't forget. So XAUUSD is one of our favorite pairs last week that made us cool money, right? So right now, what I'll be looking for on XAUUSD, my bullish scenario will be something like this happening. So I'm going to pick this level, as a minor support level. So I'm just going to pick this level. So my bullish scenario is price coming down to this level and going back to the upside. So bullish scenario on XAUUSD is price coming back to retest this support level before I get into the trade. So remember, you don't just get into the trade, you wait for a confirmation, either for a bullish engulfing candle or any other confirmation you might see on the chart before you get into a buy trade. And bearish scenario is price coming back down here and breaking to the downside. So if we have something like this, price comes here, retest this support level, which will turn to resistance level, and price coming back down here, or maybe coming back down here, or even comes back down here before we go back up. So this is going to be a long movement. I'm not really looking for a bearish scenario on XAUSD right now. However, we have to watch out to see what the market will do. Remember, you can't predict the market. You can't force the market to go in your direction. You only trade, you follow the market. So you trade according to the trend, you follow the trend. If either of this happens, we get into the trade. And so that is that for XAUSD. That is my this is my bullish scenario and my bearish scenario on XAUSD. So the next pair we are going to be looking at for today is the AUDUSD. So AUDUSD right now, if you can remember, we talked about AUDUSD coming down to retest this level. So I'm just going to zoom this in a little bit. So we were somewhere around here, and we said if AUDUSD breaks above this channel, it's gonna breaks above this support level and breaks above the trend line, it's going to be a buy. So, and it happened. So after XAUSD, after AUDUSD breaks above here, it formed a candlestick pattern, which is this bullish a curving candle. So even after the breakout, it retested. So if you had missed this move, you would have get into this second move right here. So it retested the support level before coming as far as to our minor support level. So what we are looking at on AUDUSD right now is price breaking to the upside, because if you look at this, AUDUSD has been moving sideways for a long time. For a long time, AUDUSD has been on a sideways market. You can see price is not going up, it's not coming down, it's just moving to the sideways. So we are looking for price to break out to the upside. So we have multiple touches at this level. We had the first, price came here, rejected. We had the second time, price came here, rejected. That's the second time. And the third time, price has come back to this resistance level. So we are going to watch out to see what is going to happen at this level. So right now, I don't have I'm not calling out for anything at this level. So I'm just going to wait to see how price reacts around this level before I can get into the market. So if I get a bullish a curving candle breaking this minor resistance to the upside, retesting. So this is what I mean. If something like this happens, price break out of this, retest this resistance level and goes back to the upside. So my entry is going to be this level, and my stop loss is going to be just below the retest. So this is my bullish scenario on AUDUSD, but I'm not bullish right now because there's no confirmation for me right now. There's nothing to see on the chart that's going to make me get into this trade at this time. So I'm just going to wait for the market to do its thing, give me the setup I want before I get into the market. So that's my bullish scenario, and my bearish scenario is price acting coming down, maybe do some retest before coming back to retest this support level. So this is my bearish scenario, and if something like this happen, I'm going to get to this market at this level. I'm going to get into the market at this level, and my stop loss is just going to be above, a little bit above the retest. So this is my bullish and bearish scenario on AUDUSD. So the next pair we are going to be looking at, let's look at another juicy pair we can look out for cool trade together. Let's look at EURUSD. EURUSD is one of the major pairs out there. So let's look at it together. Okay, first let me go to the 4 hours so that I can see what's really happening there. Oops. EURUSD is actually cooking, and it cooked to our position. As you can see, price, wow. So this was like, what happened here is price coming all the way back to retest the support level. And right, so this was a strong support level. Price come back here, broke below but could not hold, and so the bulls pulled back the price to the support level, which turned this to a resistance level after price came back to this level, but it could not hold. The bulls pull back the price, and you can see this bullish incurving candle breaking above the support level, breaking above the resistance level rather, and after a retest, this level turned to a support level, and price is been acting this way. So we have a high here, we have a higher high, right? We have a high, a higher high, and price is swinging down. We have a higher low, and now we are having another higher high, but this high is still at the same high as this one. So what we are going to look out for, we are going to wait a little bit, we are going to exercise patience to see how price acts, see how price is going to act around this area. So bullish bullish scenario on EURUSD is going to be something like this. If price gives me, maybe price just come above a little bit, come back to retest this level and continue to the upside. So if something like this happen, I'm going to get into the market at this level, and my stop loss is going to be just below the retest of that support level. And my bearish scenario is going to be price doing something like this, coming down, breaking down to the downside, retesting this, and back to this level. So this is going to be my bearish scenario before we go back to the upside. So I'll get into the trade at this level, and my stop loss is just going to be same position, just above this level, right? So that is that for EURUSD, pretty much. So I'm going to be looking at these pairs carefully to make sure I don't miss a trade. I mean, I missed couples of trade last week. Yeah, it's one of those things. Traders miss trade. You know, you'll be looking out for a setup to form for you to get into the market, and maybe something just, you're just busy about something. Maybe you went for clubbing with your friends, and before you come back, market has already went beyond your setup. So you don't have to get into the market. Okay, let me catch, let me, you have to relax to wait for the market to come back, to pull back into that position before you enter, or you wait for another setup to form before you get into the market. So that is that for EURUSD. And our next pair we're going to be looking at the S&P 500. So we want we haven't looked at S&P 500 in a long time, so we are going to be looking at S&P 500 together to see what is going on, right? So he is one of the asset I love, one of the index I love to trade so much, and we haven't looked at it in a long time. So let's look at it together on a 4 hour time frame. Some juicy stuff are happening. Wow. So let's go to the weekly time frame so I can have a broader view of this. All right. So you can see, okay. So I'll just duplicate this. I'll clone this, bring this down here. So okay, okay, so we have this right now. So wow, this is what's happening. Okay, why not take this above here? Nope, that's not gonna work. Rather, just drop it between. Okay, this is okay this way. So we go back to 4 hour time frame, and we look at what is happening in the market. So you can see that the market is up. So nothing to look out for really right now. So this is just so if I'm gonna wait for this market to give me a position, I'll wait for something like this, S&P 500 to do something like this, come back to this level before I get into this trade. So this is what I'm expecting from S&P 500 on a bullish scenario. I want price to get into this level, and I'm get into the market here, and my stop loss just below the retest. So this is what I'm looking out for on S&P 500, and my bearish scenario is going to be price reacting this way. Maybe price comes down to this level, retest this resistance and comes back here. So this is my bearish scenario on S&P 500. Nothing really happening right now, so I'm just going to wait for either of these. I'm just going to look out. So I'm going to look out closely to see what's going to happen before I get into this trade. So the next asset we're going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at the US oil. So US oil right now is being, the oil has been on a bearish trend, has been bearish. So if you look at this on a weekly time frame, you see that oil has been bearish. Oil has been bearish. This is a high, this is a high, this is a lower high. So it means that this high is lower than this high, this is a lower high, this high is lower than this high is lower than this high, and this current high is lower than this high. So some things are happening on the happening on the US oil right now. So logically, what you're going to be expecting to look out for is to look out for potential areas to get into a sell. You want to sell. So with that being said, if you're going to go short on US oil, one of the another profit target will be this level here. You want to target this because this was a low that leads to this movement. So you want to target that area. But let's go right into 4-hour time frame to see what's really happening to oil. So right now you can see that oil has been okay. Oil broke through. We looked at oil last 2 weeks, so we didn't have that analysis last week. So we looked at oil last 2 weeks, and we said oil, if oil breaks through this, or I think that happened on a 1-hour time frame, we said if oil breaks this trend line, we are going bearish. And it broke, and there was a retest, and we went bearish, retesting our minor support level. Right now, oil is going back to the upside. So let's look at what's going to happen. And if I should draw this level, you see something like this happening here. Can see something like this. Can see something like this is a level. This is a level. Something is happening. So either of these, we are going to look out for what is going to happen. So either oil, now because we understand oil is on a bearish trend, we are going to wait for either price to come back, touch our trend line, and reverse back to the downside. Maybe something like this happen and we fall back to the downside. So we're going to be looking out for something like this, or we just expect oil to reverse at this level, reversing back here, and maybe even break down and come back to this major support level. So this is my bullish and bearish scenario on US oil. So guys, that is that for today's section on the charts, weekly chart analysis. And if you stay this long, I want you to hit the subscribe button, like this video, share this video so that algorithm can help push out this content to aspiring traders, to traders who want to make money from the forex market, who want to. So we have a Telegram community. You want to be part of the Telegram community. Check the link in the description of this video. You will see the link to the Telegram channel. And also, I have my recommended broker and my recommended prop firm. So you want to check the link in the description to get all this information. So guys, we've come to the end of this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.